Hello, I'm happy you're here to draw with me today. When you're done, you could go on to my Facebook page at Danny Girl Art CZT36 and post your completed tile there to share with everyone. And if you are enjoying this channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the video at the end. So today on tanglepatterns.com, their newsletter, Linda Farmer, posted a tangle, and the tangle is called HayKia, and it's by Sue Bailey, and she's from Australia. And the tangle we're going to do reminded her of a seed pod. So I'm going to start with my 4 dots and a border. And I want to find the center of my tile, so I'm going to make a line going diagonally across in both directions, just to kind of give me a general idea of where the center is. So the first thing that I am going to do, I'm going to do this above this one section. I'm going to draw a orb, and I'm using a micron 01 to do this. From the left side, I'm going to come around, take off, draw a curve, and come back around. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, starting up here, coming around, touching that orb, coming back, narrow, getting wider, and narrow. So that's my first HayKia. So this is a spontaneous drawing. I've never done this before. I'm doing this for the first time with you. So I'm going to go around now and do 4 of these in different sections. Okay, so I now have 4, and I think what I am going to do is going to do another 4 in the open spaces that are sort of forming a V shape. So I'm going to add an orb here. And I'm trying to have it so that they are touching a little bit the points of one another. And you might have to hollow ball a little bit so that they go behind. But I'm going to do this in all these remaining 4 sections. So this pretty cool, interesting shape here. And I'm going to now aura around all of it. Wow, really pretty interesting shape. Next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some flux, and that's by CZT Headquarters. So I'm going to just start popping them in around the edges of where I had my aura. Maybe you want to double them up, have them singular. And I'm still using my micron 01 for this. I'm going to move all the way around. So the next thing I'm going to do is add some orbs. And I'm going to place some of them between my flux, like so. and I'm going to just nestle them in different sizes, medium, small, and large. Don't go too small. And this will balance nice with the orbs that are in the center of our tile. So I'm going to continue this going all the way around. So there's my orbs, and you might want to switch to a PN, keep your O1 close by so that you have it for smaller areas. But what I'm going to do now is in between these negative spaces, I'm going to go in and start to ink in these spaces. In addition to this, as I'm going around, I'm going to add some rounding where the orbs are. So I like to do that with the O1. So I simply just take my micron O1, make a little curve where the two are meeting. In this case, it is a flux and an orb, as if a little water droplet is filling the space here. So I'm about halfway around now. Again, just filling in those negative spaces and then dropping in those little droplets of water, just rounding where different pieces are meeting. And I know how to do this by where a V shape is being made. That's where I go in and I add the little bit of rounding. So now I have all of my spaces with my rounding, and I have my inked in areas. I might go into the center as well, where some of the HayKia are, and ink in some of these areas as well. So just be mindful of where you're going in and adding this ink, that you are doing it in the background spaces. So I'm going to just rotate my tile as I do this, and this will help give us a nice balance between some dark inked in spots in the outer edge of our tile as well as the center. So it'll be a little bit more balanced and uniformed. So I've completed the inked in area in the center, and I'm going to take my PN and go over my border lines. Remember, these do not need to be perfectly straight lines. You can purposely have them wavy if you choose to. Okay, so I'm going to put my pens aside, and I am going to take out my tortillon and my pencil, and I'm going to begin some shading. So make sure that you have a nice point on your pencil and that your inked in areas are dry enough for you to begin to shade. So I'm going to start with the HayKia, and in the inside of this little pod shape, I'm going to go in and add some graphite. I like to go pretty heavy with my graphite to really have a nice contrast. And then I'm going to take my tortillon and very lightly, do not press hard, you should not be scrubbing with this. I'm going to blend this in towards the center, but I want to make sure that I still leave lightness as well. So I'm going to go into each of these little pods with my graphite and with my tortillon and begin to shade all of the insides. So I've completed the inside of the pods. Now I'm going to go to my outer orbs and add a little curve shape for a shadow in each. And I'll be taking my tortillon and softening that up as well. So we're not worrying about a light source here, so you can put your little shadows any which way. It doesn't need to make sense. It's what your pencil is calling for and your tile is calling for on your paper. So I'm doing all these little outside ones, taking my tortillon, softly going in over it, and just blending it out. The little tiny ones really just need a very soft little tap to it. Then I'm going to move to my flux, and I'm going to add to one side, starting from the bottom, a little bit of graphite on each one. Turning my towel as I go, making sure that my hand is staying nice and comfortable and that I'm not dragging my hands across the tile and smudging my pencil work. Again, I will just come in very softly, not scrubbing. Don't worry about a light source. Curve it a little bit if you'd like. So I also feel like there's a lot of white in the middle, so I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow on these inner orbs. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take my graphite and going all around this edge, I am going to add some heavy graphite. Now that I have my graphite going all around the outer edge, I'm going to take my tortillon and very gently, feather-like, start to blend it towards my border. So there you have it. I've blended out with my tortillon all around the edge. Take a minute, appreciate your work, rotate your tile. And when you're ready with your micron, go in and add your chop. And then flip your tile over and sign and date the back. I hope you enjoyed, and please post your tile on the on the Facebook thread at Danny Girl Art CZT 36 with your completed tile, and please subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed, feel free to share with others.